Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which means only one thing. It's time for our weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and any other FPGA gaming news out there that is worth reporting. After that, we will move over to some random and retro gaming news. Now, timestamps have been made available for you, just as they are every week, guys. But I have to point out one thing: any links that complement those timestamps are now going to be on our brand new website, metalgamesolid.com. Now, there's a reason for that. Sometimes when I post links on YouTube, YouTube doesn't like them and it gives me a warning. It's given me a warning a couple of times saying that there's something inappropriate in that link. Now, I could post that link and later on that link could get changed to something else and it will go, oh, this goes against our code of conduct. So this is something that obviously keeps my channel a little bit safer because I'm not really posting any links on there, and as well as that, it gives our brand new website a plug. What is the website? Well, the website is something, think about as the channel complementing the website and vice versa. All the stories that you're going to see in the weekly news video are going to get published there pretty much as I find out about them, so you can you can read bite-sized articles during the week. There'll be guides and interviews on there too, but I will use it to complement the site. Okay, so if you're not subscribed to the channel as well, guys, a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. I do have a Patreon set up as well if you wish to support the channel further. Don't forget to check out the sponsor of the weekly news show, MiSTer Add-ons, an absolutely awesome family run store. And finally, guys, check out London's best arcade, Free Play City. For the MiSTer FPGA, we now have a new release from a new developer to the scene. So the game is Star Force. This core actually brings a couple of games. I'm not sure if it's available via update tool. I did check it out earlier during the week and I had to do the install manually. And also when I did the install earlier during the week, you couldn't rotate the screen. So it was kind of stuck in Tarte mode. So you would actually physically have to move your screen. Hopefully that's been resolved, and I do hope it's available via update tool. But the developer behind this, their X account is Madoka, but they are known as Maduv over on GitHub. The other game that's available here, we'll have a look at both of them because I did do a video earlier during the week. And guys, when I did this video, so many of you guys reached out and said this was one of your favorite games in the arcade, how you could once see it. And I definitely felt like I kind of missed out on this game. It's very good. In particular, I really like the soundtrack. It doesn't even seem fitting with the game, but I like it so much. It's a very happy soundtrack where you got this frantically chaotic bullet scenario going on. And what's really cool as well is the bosses are the alphabet letters. In my little play that I did, I beat the letter A for the first level and then I beat the letter B. Hey, it gets pretty unique, right? And then the other game we've got, let me just skip ahead to the video here, is this game here. I'm glad I got the name of it mentioned down here, but this is Baluba-Louk no Densetsu. This game's a lot of fun. It reminds me of a cross between Bomb Jack and Pac-Man, the way you kind of move around. And when you get the power pill, you can consume the enemies. And naturally, you go around grabbing the chest. It's got one button. The button jumps, but if you're near a bomb and you press it, you actually ignite the bomb. So it's kind of interesting how it plays. Definitely requires a lot of skill. See, I pressed the button there and that ignited the bomb. But yeah, this is available. There'll be GitHub links for this available if you want to add this manually. But if not, run up their tool, see if it does grab it for you. Hopefully it is there. PAPRIUM. This has been a hot topic in the retro gaming community for like the last couple of weeks. And so initially this got cracked. It was only working via a custom Mega Drive core via RetroArch, and naturally people are getting into this. They want to get it working on, for example, here on the Sega Mega Drive. Now, it only works on the Mega EverDrive Pro. It doesn't work on any of the other models. And here is Crix, the person behind the EverDrives, and he's got it working on the EverDrive, and it looks interesting. So he was showcasing this earlier. Naturally, I did videos on this during the week. But what's cool over here is people ask, so Birdie Bro here asked, will it come with compromises versus the original game? I'm sure you aren't emulating STM32 on FPGA. Curious to see the viability of implementing support on MiSTer FPGA for this, but if it's doing HLE tricks, then the maintainer may not like it. And Crix responds, I'm going to release my mapper sources. Maybe it will fit on the MiSTer as is. And well, there you go. Birdie Bro thanks him for thanks him for his hard work. And then later on, Crix then reveals mapper sources now on GitHub. There is still a lot of work to make it perfect, but it's a good start for implementation for other systems like the MiSTer FPGA. So hopefully we'll get this implemented on the Mega Drive or the Mega CD core, and we'll be enjoying this on our MiSTers in the future sometime. Naturally, we'll keep you posted here on the channel and over on Metal Game Solid. And while we're talking about Metal Game Solid, guys, there is actually a guide up there. It's linked up there from a friend of the channel, Concade Gaming. So if you head over there, yeah, you can get a guide of how to get this working on the Mega EverDrive Pro. So if you've got your Mega Drive kicking about and you have a Mega EverDrive Pro, definitely check out this guide from Concade Gaming. It will get PAPRIUM running for you so you can enjoy it on original hardware. And if you know my channel, guys, you know I like handheld gaming and I like FPGA gaming. So when you've got a combo of the two, that to me is peak gaming. So someone here just reminds, I'm not going to try and read that username there, but the first two letters are N1, and him just posting that meme or that picture of Wolverine where he's looking at the picture of something that you desire, and FPGA handheld, and Taki responds, my product side quests take too long. I know people want me to finish the MiSTer handheld. Taki, we want you to finish it. Drop everything else and finish that MiSTer handheld. That is what we want. Okay, when I say we, that is what I want, but that's what I want. And if that's what you want, let Taki know. We want that MiSTer handheld. I love the Analog Pocket, but hey man, handheld PlayStation, MiSTer N64, boom shakalaka. Here I am thinking, why are my eyes burning? I need to turn on dark mode. So guys, the MiSTer FPGA Super Nintendo core now has a fork of the core that now introduces rumble. Let me explain. So recently, limited run games are in the process of releasing a controller. I think you can either pre-order or maybe you might even be able to buy the controller, but the game that they are releasing that it works with is Doom for the Super Nintendo. Now, it works with that particular controller. You can use that particular controller with the MiSTer FPGA, but only via SNAC to play SNES games that support rumble. Like the official one from limited run games is Doom, but naturally the community starting modding new games. People like Candu want to got Star Fox working with it. Then we got like Castlevania with rumble, and F-Zero is currently in the works with Metroid, Super Metroid being a contender as well. So if you want access to the latest core, it's available on the MiSTer FPGA Discord, as you can see here, rumble support. But what this core does now, you don't need the specific Super Nintendo controller. It will work with any controller out there. Here you go. You've got the links here on Metal Game Solid anyway, all in one place. But yeah, what it will do, let's run this video that I did a few days ago. So this is F-Zero. This hasn't been released yet. I was fortunate enough to get a test copy of it, and it works really, really well. And I got to test the rumble a lot because, hey, I crashed and I smashed into stuff a lot. But what this does now is this gives you rumble on any of the supported games with any controller that has rumble. In this one, I was using an 8-bit DOE Ultimate USB Type-C, and it worked flawlessly. Every time I bumped somewhere or wherever the developer wanted me to experience that bump feeling, I did. Then obviously we've got the latest version of Star Fox as well that has bump in there as well. And finally, the one that really was a lot of fun, and this has MSU1 support as well, was Castlevania the original. This is the NES game ported over to the Super Nintendo, and rumble just works really, really nicely on this, especially when you take damage or like when you complete the level. It's put in at different parts in there, but yeah, it really, really does heighten the experience, and it's nice to see that we don't have to buy a specific limited runs controller to get this. Shout out to Limited Run Games for actually like making the source available so other people can use it, and well, they certainly did by implementing it on more Super Nintendo games, or in this case a NES game that was brought to the Super Nintendo where it got rumble in the jungle. I haven't tried this out yet, but there's also a version of the SNES core available that's friendly for ROM hacks. Let me explain a little further. So there are some ROM hacks that, funnily enough, don't work on original hardware, or they may not work on the MiSTer. So what this version of the core does is those unfriendly ROM hacks, shall we call them, ones that don't play well on a MiSTer core, they should work on this. I haven't actually tried any yet, and if you guys know of any, that actually I can try out, give me a list of them. I'd like to try them out. I do like trying out ROM hacks, but if there's any that don't work on the MiSTer, please let me know. And if there's any in particular that you've not been able to play and you are looking forward to trying, then definitely give me a shout. Let me know in the comments and I'll check those ROM hacks out, and maybe I could do a dedicated video on them for a later time. But very interesting. It's nice to see what's happening with the SNES core, getting rumble support for all controllers and then getting a different version of it that plays nice with ROM hacks that don't play nice. Now, just to kind of point out, this shouldn't replace the normal core. All your normal games and anything that works on a normal core will play it on the normal core. This is only for those troublesome ROM hacks. Just a reminder here for everybody that the Sega Saturn core is always receiving updates via the Unstable Nightly's channel on the MiSTer FPGA. Naturally, links will be provided, but yeah, definitely check it out. It's always making improvements. Like some of the latest release notes read, remove unused signals. So SRG 320 is always improving this. So for the Saturn, it also fixes the seek delay. As well as that, there are numerous little changes, for example, like fixed loading, saving of backup car, and it's all just making an already amazing core even better. So if you've got this wire up there, all cool, but you're going to be a little bit behind, I strongly encourage anyone that really likes Saturn and wants to stay up to date to definitely try the unstable version of the core. Oh, by the way, try out layer section 2. Fantastic. And for any Atari Jaguar fans out there, especially those that have a dual SD RAM MiSTer setup, then you might want to try the latest test builds of the Atari Jaguar core. Grey Rogue, the developer that kind of brought this and resurrected this core and brought it back to life, is always working on this. Slowly but surely, more and more compatibility, more and more improvements are coming to the core. If you are a big Atari Jaguar fan, or even if you're a medium Atari Jaguar fan, you definitely want to check this out. And again, it will require you to have an unstable build of the MiSTer operating system, and you will need to run a test build of the core. But hey, you know, if you know the Atari Jaguar well, you can even get involved in the testing, and if you find something that's a little bit off or not quite right, you can always report it to the developer and have your input, you know, have your say and have your contribution towards making the MiSTer FPGA cores better. And really good news here. No sooner do we get Star Force for the MiSTer FPGA, that we now also have a port for the Analogue Pocket. And I have to say, this port, which is done by Obsidian.dev, must be a new world record. We're talking like 2 days after the MiSTer release, he releases this for the Analogue Pocket, and it's rotated the correct way up. Now, the version that I had, you can probably see those lines on the side. Honestly, when you play it, you forget about it because there's a lot of bullets coming at you. So as well as Star Force, it also has the other game on there, which is called Baluba-Louk no Densetsu. I would never remember that, but hey, the text is in front of me and I can kind of read okay. So yeah, guys, 2 great games for the Analogue Pocket. We have Star Force and we have Baluba-Louk no Densetsu. Enjoy. They are available via the updaters. However, I have to say, when I ran the updater to get this, it got me everything but the assets. So I had to convert the ROMs manually. Hopefully that's changed now. But yeah, in the meantime, enjoy. Thank you very much, Obsidian.dev and Maduv, for producing the original MiSTer FPGA core. Random Monk 3, the excellent developer, not only did he start his career with FPGA gaming by bringing us lots and lots of cores over, he is the sole developer, the main developer behind the excellent Analogizer. And over here in this X post, Random Monk 3 says, "Hi, I invite current and future Analogizer users to complete the following survey. The results will be used to improve the product and user experience." Now, I have to say, the Analogizer has gone from strength to strength, guys. Initially just outputting to a analog device, such as that beautiful PVM that we're seeing in the picture there, as well as that you can use original controllers. So I used a PlayStation controller with it. You can use a Super Nintendo, a PC Engine, I think a Mega Drive controller as well. And now you can actually output to digital and analog simultaneously, just like the MiSTer, but you do need a dock for that. The dock will output digital, and the analog pocket itself will output, well, via the Analogizer to an analog display. It's a very, very good product. I know a lot of people are waiting for Analogs to release their DAC. Some people are saying they're not even going to release it now, who knows? But hey, you've got an option there to get your analog pocket playing on a CRT, so use it. But yeah, if you want to provide some feedback, maybe you're an owner, maybe you want to buy one but something's preventing you from buying one, give your feedback to Random Monk 3 and hopefully your feedback will make a difference. ModRetro, the company that brought the Chromatic, their take on the Game Boy Color, and from everyone I know that had one, they said it did a pretty good job as a modern Game Boy Color. Now they're releasing the M64, their take on the Nintendo 64, and it's priced at $199.99. Now guys, I did a video on this, I get it. The owner of this, to say the very least, is very controversial. My personal opinions aside, remember, it's products that I am focusing on the channel, not people. Products, not people. So regardless of good, bad or ugly, if there's a product then it's an FPGA gaming, I will cover it. Now in regard to this product, the owner did put out some tweets about it and I've asked some questions and they have not been answered. So my questions regarding this: will it output to CRT and HDMI possibly simultaneously? Obviously not been answered yet. Will it output 4K? Because clearly they are taking on the Analogue 3D, which we know is going to output Nintendo 64 in 4K. And then another question, will it come bundled with a game and or a controller? Because we know the Analogue 3D is not going to come with a game or a controller. And a very important question here, is this using the MiSTer FPGA core? And the reason that I asked that, when you look at the Chromatic, they actually used the MiSTer FPGA core, the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color core in the Chromatic Game Boy. So interesting to see what happens there. Yeah, let's see what kind of becomes. I mean, we're getting two versions of the Nintendo 64 in FPGA this year, and we already have a great MiSTer core as well. So interesting. Let's see what happens. Do let me know your thoughts. Are you going to pick this up? Are you going to stay clear? Have you ordered a 3D and that's what you're sticking with because you know Analogue and you trust them, and maybe you don't trust this one? Who knows? Just let me know what you guys kind of think. But remember guys, it's products and not people that I cover. The Replay 2 Fat Proto update. So you guys might have been thinking, hey, the Replay 2 have been quiet. Well, they've been quiet when it comes to on a wider social media scale, but over on their Discord, they're very busy, constantly sharing updates. It's a very booming and active Discord server. It's worth joining if you want to stay up to date, but they put out an update on their website, fpgarcade.com, where they go over what they've been doing for the past few months and what to kind of expect in the future, sharing some excellent pictures as well. Now, over on Metal Game Solid, there's a shortened version of that article. I definitely recommend reading this article. It's very, very informative, but some of the stuff that they go over is they talk about the fat board, the cheaper, more affordable light version, which is also being produced. They mentioned that this isn't the MiSTer 2, even though some people think it is, but it does share some early firmware. They also talk about this thing being open source from the beginning, so anyone that wants to get on board can, and the Replay 2 supports existing cores via SD-RAM, so that's the legacy one in there, but it also has new PAPRIUM, which will help hopefully more advanced systems come over to FPGA gaming. It has USB power delivery, I think up to 100 watts if I'm not mistaken, and a 4K digital output. Who knows if this even can be used as an upscaler? Who knows? I'm just saying that. They haven't said that. Gigabit Ethernet VGA PCIe Gen 3, and with options for more I/O. So definitely something to be excited about. Replay 2 is going to come along, and the team, they've not disappeared, they're not vaporware, they're still around, and if you want to ask them questions, join their Discord server. You know, one word for Replay 2, if I had to give them or sum it up in one word, is transparency. Retro Game Restore. Do you remember a while back they spoke about a FPGA PPU for the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System? Well, that project is probably 80 to 90% done now. That is what they're saying. Just a few tricky bits left, and they're surprisingly complex. While we await for a new FPGA PPU test PCB, I've been shifting gears and trying some new stuff. Spent 2 days getting my fingers dirty with some new code. So from what I recall, this is something that gives your Nintendo, or once you do this mod, the ability to output to modern devices via HDMI and whatnot. So if you know more, share it with me. Like I always say, I'm a technical dimwit, but I know this is something that interests you guys. That's why I am covering it. How do you feel about a handheld Super Nintendo? So these series of tweets here from Yvettel Griffin. So they've got this custom PCB coming out, which they are using now. This actually requires you to sacrifice parts from your SNES. So maybe if you have a damaged SNES and you can use some of the chips and bring it back to life with this, it's worth it. So it's a trade-off. It depends on how much you want this new device and how much you value your original device. I think it's called Alpha SNES, right? That symbol there means alpha, if I'm not mistaken, right there, Alpha SNES. Am I wrong? Let me know. But anyway, the developer here says a SNES mainboard prototype, a complete one-chip Super Nintendo, Super EverDrive, Shinobi Scalar GBS control, LCD driver, and more combined onto a single 125 by 96 mm 6-layer PCB. Real cartridges connect via the large FPC connector on the back. Now, I do like this mock-up here. This looks really good. It looks comfortable. It looks like, you know, if you're gonna play Super Metroid there for hours, this looks like it's gonna be comfortable on the hands because it's that landscape view, right? And it looks really, really good. Do like how it looks. Let that page load up. I think it takes a little second, but they've got more pictures on here, or at least I thought they did. Let me just scroll up. Oh, here we go. And I want to show you guys the back of it, and hopefully it will eventually come there. Well, this is going to be really embarrassing. Okay, you get to see some of the stuff. There you go. There's some more stuff here, USB-C down there, but this part looks really cool. You can fit a whole cartridge down there. Now, even though I know most of you guys that watch this channel are from the USA, this person here has decided to go for the Super Famicom cartridges. But, you know, in Europe and Australia, other places, this is a cartridge we had. And honestly, you know, growing up with the PAL version, well, originally we kind of had the Japanese version, which has these cartridges. I remember first buying my import Super Nintendo cartridge, the American one, and guys, it looked really, really ugly. Now, it didn't have to fit in the SNES because I had a thing called a universal adapter or converter where I'd put a UK game in the back and the American game on top, and it would run my foreign game. But anyway, getting back to this, it looks interesting, and I definitely think it's the right choice to choose this. Maybe someone can do a mod on it after to take American carts, because a lot of you guys might want to run your carts and you don't want to be limited to only using Japanese or, like, you know, PAL cartridges out there. But yeah, interesting project. Love seeing stuff like this, and hopefully this comes to light one day soon. And Rumble Mins does it again, and not only just by himself, but other members of the community contributing to this. So this is where we have the original Castlevania game given all the power of the SNES in a NES to SNES port. This gets rid of slowdown, it gets rid of flickering, but guess what, guys? So much more is added in here. So Rumble Mins here says, happy to release my SNES port of Castlevania. This native SNES port features 3 levels of difficulty, right? Or 3 difficulty levels, like it says there. Now, if you suck at Castlevania, it's got the super easy mode, which I think was on the Famicom cartridges. And you got 14 palette options. So you can, wow, there's a whole bunch of options there that you can go through. Then you've got 6 MSU1 soundtrack options. Guys, when I was playing this, you can actually pause the game and swap the soundtracks on the fly. It's freaking fantastic. And then use A or X to throw sub-weapons, swap between 2 sub-weapons. That's interesting. And guess what? Rumble support. So if you've got original hardware and you're using the limited run games controller, it will rumble. Or if, like me, you're playing this on the MiSTer FPGA and you're using the new kind of test core, the unstable core that has rumble support, well, guess what? It will rumble with any controller that has rumble support that you throw at it. Really, really nice to see this. But not only is it NES to SNES, this is so much more. You have to try it. Now, confession time here. A lot of the games I actually show you guys, I don't have the time to try out. Honestly, between the channel and the new website, work and family, it's actually difficult finding time to play games. Unless I do a live stream and then I'm, you know, doing my YouTube stuff and I'm having fun at the same time. But Duck Hunt Game Boy, right? I like this. It's got a DMG version as well, apparently, and I'm definitely going to have to test that one out because I love how the DMG looks. The image we get from the DMG is very, very nostalgic to me. So I like Duck Hunt on the NES, you know, with Rob the Robot, my buddy, that little zapper shooting those ducks. But this sounds interesting. A fully adapted port of NES Classic, new on Game Boy Color. New features include new zones, discover brand new areas inspired by other Zapper-based games like Wild Gunman. So if you play stuff with you definitely want to check this out. You know, it sounds really, really good. Boss battles. Each zone features an original boss created exclusively for this version. In addition, Duck Hunt GB is fully compatible with the original Game Boy, all of its hardware revisions. That means we get a DMG version, and we can see from the file down here, it's Duck Hunt GB, not GBC. So yeah, I need to whack this on either my Game Boy or the Analog Pocket. But in the meantime, you guys test it out, and if you've played it, let me know. I always say one of my favorite accounts on X is this account here. Well, you're not seeing the X page here, but this is Danto Retro Dev. This is the itch.io page. And guys, follow them over on X. I'll leave a link for you guys to get. But yeah, they also work on this Castlevania game. Among other games, they've also done Green Beret, but this is one that I really, really like. This is Castlevania AGA. It's the Castlevania game we should have had on the Amiga, but hey, better late than never. We are getting it now. And they're always working on this. It's brilliant already, but we got an update in July 2025, a few days ago. So they are here, and this is what they say about it. Following the Commodore Amiga's 40th anniversary, a big overhaul with the features like better color use, AGA gradients, animated backdrops, calibrated jump physics, menu toggle for weapons release method, and new music tracks by IM76 and DJ MeTune. Some examples are seen in the video link below. Let's just have a quick look at the video and run it. But guys, honestly, this is really, really good. If you're an Amiga fan, if you're a Castlevania fan, you need to try this out. It is a lot of fun. Dante's work is top notch, and you just have to try it. It's a free download. You can download it from itch.io. And yeah, Castlevania fans, Amiga fans, it's a must. I mean, most of you have probably already tried it, but for the few people that haven't, try it out. This is just super wholesome, guys. Absolutely love it. Look at that panda there. So, 73-year-old grandma wins Tekken 8 tournament as panda. Right, guys, mad props to that. That's 73. That's around my mother's age, and she's never ever been able to use a smartphone. But hey, in Japan, they just seem to be of a different caliber, cut from a different cloth. So seniors age between 60 and 90 faced off in Japan's latest care facility gaming event. Absolutely brilliant. When I go old and I live in an old people's home, I want to live in Japan where I'm playing Tekken. Well, actually, I'd rather play Street Fighter, but hey, fighting games tournament. So a fierce Tekken 8 tournament featured players aged between 60 and 90 is gaining attention across Japan and reshaping what many thought possible for senior citizens in gaming. The event, hosted by Care Esports Association, brought together elderly residents from multiple care homes to compete online in one of the world's most fast-paced fighting games. Absolutely amazing. Read the rest of the article yourself, but hey, we got the pensioners and they are smashing it in a Tekken tournament, and a 73-year-old grandma takes the win. If that was my grandma, I would definitely be so darn proud. We've featured Red Herring 32 on the channel multiple times, and you know what, for good darn reason. Look how beautiful that GameCube looks, especially that handle on top, man. I mean, that's the icing on the cake. Look how good it looks. The GameCube had that handle in case your missus lost her handbag and she needed somewhere to keep her powder for her nose. She had the little handle on top. But let's see what the tweet is saying. I'm making a portable GameCube. It's not a Wii. I'll have a directly driven 480p laminated IPS panel for the crispiest GameCube pixels you've seen. It will have USB-C power delivery charging, video out over USB-C, wireless 4-player multiplayer. Oh, it'll play Game Boy games too. Absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to this. Probably going to be way out of my price range, but man, if you've, well, I don't know if this is going to be sold or I don't know if this is going to be released for you guys to make, but either way, check out the source. Naturally, I'll link all my sources. It looks really, really good. I've said it a few times and I'll say it again. I really do feel we are getting spoilt with the brawlers we're getting these days. You know, recently we've had stuff like Streets of Rage 4. Okay, and that's been out a while, but it's lovely to see modern games coming out, really capturing that old formula and in some ways improving upon it, right? So Streets of Rage 4, Shredder's Revenge, that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rita's Rewind, the Power Rangers game. Really looking forward to Marvel's Cosmic Invasion, and there's a Toxic Crusaders or Toxic Avengers brawler coming out as well. But this looks really good. This captured my eye because a couple of reasons. So Fallen City Brawl. But let me run this video, right? Sorry, it's going to look a bit small on the screen, but I'm working on like a ultra wide monitor. So if I hit maximize, part of it will get cut out because what you can't see is the recording window I've got here. So sorry, you're going to watch it in small, but you can click on the links and watch it for yourself. But the movement in this, it reminds me very much so of the King of Fighters games, the way the animation is. Now, there's a demo of this available. It's releasing on August the 12th. It's going to only be out for the PC, so you can get this on Steam and GOG. There is a demo available on Steam, and eventually, once I've finished doing the weekly news video and all the tasks I've got to do, I do want to test this out, and I'll post an update. I might do a video on this depending on how much I play it and if I get time, but I will post a video of it and what I think of the demo after I try it over on Metal Game Solid. But yeah, it looks good. I like it. I like it a lot, to be honest, based on how I've seen it. Now, the truth is just in what it feels like when I actually play it. But either way, guys, we're getting lots and lots of brawlers, man. Really, really good. If you're an arcade kid like me, yeah, you are in the candy store with unlimited credits and you don't have to pay for anything. Well, you have to pay for the game, you know, pay for the game. But I'm just saying, you're in a candy store and you can eat whatever you want because there's plenty there. The best place where you can play the Virtual Boy, it has to be the 3DS, right? I mean, you don't need to wear a helmet. You can play the Virtual Boy on your 3DS, and guys, it really, really is that good. Now, I haven't updated to the latest version yet. I have got a version on there and it just looks absolutely superb. And also, I have to say there, right, when I had my original DS, I bought that Circle Pad Pro and that was very, very comfortable. Since then, I upgraded to like the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL. That little nub that has doesn't replace the analog stick. I remember getting this setup that you're seeing on screen here and playing Resident Evil Revelations with it, and I could never re-experience that on the new 3DS with that little nub. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out there because it is nice seeing the Circle Pad Pro. And in fact, I don't even think I have mine anymore. I think I traded it in with the Game Boy when I got, you know, the new 3DS. But anyway, Flugel here, that's been working on this emulator, saying, marking the Virtual Boy's 30th anniversary, I'm releasing Red Viper version 1.0.0. It's made it to 1.0. Superb, featuring more advanced palette configuration and Circle Pad Pro support. Absolutely fantastic. So if you've got yours kicking about, hey, you know what? You can have dual analog sticks on there. Absolutely superb. And honestly, if you haven't tried this and you've got a 3DS, naturally you do need custom firmware for your 3DS. It's very, very easy to put on there yourself and try this emulator out. Honestly, it's mind-blowing. It really, really is that good. It's the 3DS has glasses-free 3D, and when you're playing on this, honestly, it's like a dream come true. Like, I absolutely love the 3DS. I still use mine from time to time, and every time I turn it on and I look at the 3D, it still blows my socks off. Guys, I have not laughed so much, man. So this is a mod for Resident Evil 2 in the works. Now, if I remember correctly, these mods are usually for like this PC version that I think released in Japan. I managed to get it a while back, and I think I've got a video of like a Kuma in Resident Evil 2. Great mod, by the way. But yeah, Michael Jackson in Resident Evil, absolutely mind-blowing. Now, from what I understand, the person working on this, they've got a Patreon. It was supposed to be out earlier on this month in July 2025, but due to some health issues, they weren't able to release it. So this looks really, really good, and definitely the inclusion of Resident Evil in the inclusion of Michael Jackson in Resident Evil is just freaking epic, especially when like a window breaks and he's like, hee hee, superb. So guys, that about wraps it up for this week's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. Don't forget to check out Metal Game Solid. We really, really appreciate you guys. Anyway, be super duper awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.